Hey guys, inside of every man, God put a jet powered turbo engine. And me during my teenagehood, it really irked me, it really bugged me. And severally I prayed to God, God, take away this thing away from me. Every time I came around a woman that I liked, then I felt the engine revving up like a lion coming to life. And it distracted me because my life's purpose and focus then was purely to serve God. And I prayed to God, God, take away this thorn out of my flesh. But I thank God that God did answer my prayer or my request. Because now when I got married to my Gadoni, now I realized, oh, this is what it is for. I never really understood why God gave us men such powerful sexual energy until I began now to study it and to see the reason why God gave us this. Because God is very brilliant. God doesn't do anything by mistake. And when I got into marriage and I felt this sex drive, because now I love my wife and now it could express itself, I realized something that was very interesting, that men and women have a curious case of mismatched libidos, especially in marriage, but I shall cover that later. But let me explain now this jet-powered engine from an animal perspective. A stallion, which is a male horse that is not castrated, is a buck wild horse. It's a horse that can be able to kill a man through one kick. They're very muscular, very majestic. They have very smooth skin, smooth hair, and they're the ones that win the wild races. It is because of this sexual energy, the testosterone, the fight in the horse, that makes it win. But this energy has to be controlled. It is like a fire. It must burn within parameters. And if this energy is controlled, then this horse will become a winner horse. And the more developed its sexual nature is, then the better the horse becomes in the race. And for us human beings, for us men, we are like the stallions. The more developed we develop our sexual nature, the more we know how to control this energy. Then we not only win in the bedroom, but we also win in life. That this energy that God gives us men is to propel us forward in life, for us to be able to have a wonderful marriage and a wonderful sex life, but for us also to be able to go and dominate in the world. Because one of the purpose that God made man is domination, is to dominate, sorry. And part of this sexual energy, this sexual drive that God gave a man, its purpose is that. And so let me explain the curious case of mismatched libidos. And what happens that women who are not married, the single women, they have interestingly have the same kind of sex drive as a man. That's why you see these movies, Hollywood movies, when a couple is from a date and they are bursting through the door, tearing off their blouses and their shirts, buttons flying everywhere. They can't even get to the bed. That's what happens. But then when when marriage happens, then the woman's libido begins to die. And very, very men end up being frustrated. That they have this energy, this pent-up energy. And now their wife is simply not interested in making love. And I wondered, God, why is there this mismatch in marriage? And yet I kept myself all this long for marriage. And yet I come into the marriage bed with a wife who has a very low libido. And today I want to speak about what God revealed to me about a three-stranded cord. So Solomon, let me just begin. Solomon, a lot of people have a problem with Solomon speaking about marriage because Solomon was the philanderer of philanderers. He's a guy who had 1,000 women on his beck and call. Solomon has no moral authority to speak about monogamy, but he does. And I want to share with you why. In Proverbs 31, written by someone called Lemuel. Lemuel, scholars, some of them are very, here there's some disagreement. Some of them think that Lemuel is Solomon. I also think that. Proverbs 31 was written by Solomon's mother, advising Solomon about a woman to choose, like the way a mother can advise you. And so Bathsheba, who was David's side dish, was Solomon's mother. And she had witnessed from David's life how these many women had destroyed such a great king. And so here, Bathsheba is advising her young son Solomon. And here, what she tells him, very interesting. She says this, what, my son, what, son of my womb, and what, son of my vows, do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroys kings. That's what Solomon was told by his mother when he was young. But Solomon was his father's son, and he followed the same path that David did. And that's something that I really get afraid of, that my sons will perfect my weaknesses. If I don't master them, they will perfect them. So Solomon perfected his dad's weaknesses of having many women. But here Bathsheba, his mother, is pleading with him, telling him, do not give your strength to women. Your strength. You know what strength is? Is that sexual energy. Your strength is that turbo engine that God gives you. That when you distribute it, when you pour it out into the street, then you lose your strength. The mother says, do not give yourself, your strength to that which destroys kings. So Solomon, when he's writing the book of Proverbs, he's writing from a point of reflection that I messed up. I'm the guy who has wisdom, but I messed up. I did not listen to my mother's advice. Please listen, my son, as I tell you, because I have had to learn from experience that these many women, 1,000 women, they don't satisfy. Which was so amazing. You know, as men, people say that that a man is made to have many women. That's how a man is made, because of this sexual drive. But for very many men, they don't have a sexual drive. Their sex drives them. And even with 1,000 women, he was still not satisfied. That would mean, young man, not think that you'll be satisfied with 2, 3, 4, 5 women. One woman, let me tell you guys, is enough to satisfy. What happens in the case of a hydroelectric dam like Masinga? It is this big dam full of water, pent up water with a lot of energy, but they direct it to just one opening. And this one opening, the water comes with so much energy that it drives turbines and produces electricity. That is what becomes the driving force in a man. That a man has to realize that my greatest strength is my focus on one woman. That when you take this turbocharged engine and you focus it on one woman, and that is where you get success. That this energy that God gives us is not just for us to succeed in the bedroom, but for us also to win in life. That is what is called favor. That a man who has mastered, his sexual drive. Let me tell you guys, the world cannot stop that man. The world has written hundreds of books about this. One of the books is Think and Grow Rich, when Napoleon Hill talks about the sex transmutation, that these 500 most successful men in the world, all of them were driven by a woman. I didn't understand that at first. I was like, a woman? You know how? Kina Carnegie, Kina Vanderbilt. All these men were driven by a woman. The one exit. And as I finish, let me finish by the 3-stranded cord that Solomon in Ecclesiastes speaks about. That a 3-stranded cord is not easy to break. The 3-stranded cord that I was told during my wedding was only me and God. But there's also another one that is a 3-stranded cord that I want to tell you guys about today that God showed me so miraculously. The first cord is sex. The second cord is love. And the third cord is romance. When you weave these 3 things together and you inject them in your marriage, then that is why the curious case of mismatched libidos will never happen again. Because women don't just crave sex. Women crave the other 2. Women crave love and romance. Romance is the chivalry. The one that is dead is the opening of the door, is buying for her flowers, is going for date nights, is writing her a sex text. That is romance. Romance is that extra icing on top of the cake that every marriage needs. Let me tell you guys, when you learn to weave these 3 things in your marriage, it will not only give you the most amazing sex of your life, it will also propel you to the highest levels that man has ever been known to reach. And so as I end this video today, as I speak about the relationship between favor and sex, God is brilliant because God gave man this energy for him to control it and for him to focus it on one woman. And if you learn, because sexual energy is very raw, but if you learn to soften it, with love and romance, then you have hit the jackpot. Who the most attractive woman in the world is not the woman who puts on wigs and makeup. The most attractive woman, because there's something called sexual attraction. It's not beauty, but they're sexually attractive, is a woman who is loved the right way. And you know what a man gets when he loves a woman that way? What a man gets when he's a highly sexed male who learns how to control his body and direct it to one woman? That man gets what we call magnetism. People, money, land. get attracted to him. He attracts good things in his life. That is why, guys, I am a proponent of this. The three-stranded cord: sex, love, and romance. These three woven together, not easily broken. Till next time, my guys.